All right, good morning, trade pros. Welcome to our morning market update for Friday, January the 18th of 2019. I'm going to allow you to see me in just one moment. We have the camera cover on. I just flip open the lid, and it's party time. Welcome. Today's Friday. We're getting to the end of the week. It's snowing out here in our city, and I'm wearing a sweater. I'm nice and cozy. And yeah, we got a lot of great stuff to cover in today's morning market update. And then we got some stuff to talk about in terms of a holiday schedule. And then we are going to take you through a few things that happened with Tesla last night, some key earnings, and the reason that the markets are up so much and up almost 15% from the lows before Christmas. Right, Vic? Is that what you said, 15? Almost 14.5%. All right. So let's talk about this. Morning market fun fact. Let's start there because it's always fun to start with fun. Palladium. If you guys have heard of the metal palladium, it sounds like a playground for children. Palladium. Take your kids to Palladium. Oh yeah, Palladium. That's probably what I'm thinking of. There is actually a thing called Palladium in Canada, in Toronto. Maybe it's in the US as well and around the world. The metal, though, is used in catalytic converters, used in the medical industry, electronics, jewelry. That price actually closed above gold for the first time since 2002 on Wednesday. That's a pretty significant thing. And yesterday we hit a fresh all-time high. Palladium's up 13% this year and 45% since the start of August. Pretty neat. That's a market I haven't looked at in a long time, and so that's why it's a fun fact. All right, we have a holiday schedule as well. So before we get any further today, I want to tell you that on Monday the stock market is going to be closed. So because Monday is going to be closed in observation of Martin Luther King Day, today is going to be the last day pretty much for 3 days of price action. And there's going to be a little bit of rebalancing in today's session. We've had one heck of a run in the last couple weeks. In fact, all of 2019 we've had a nice run. We're up a lot from the lows, and we're very close here to the shorts throwing in the towel for the long term. At the moment, we have positions that are short, that are still expecting a recession and more downside. And the more time that passes, the more likely it looks like those guys are going to have to start to cover. What was the indication? Yesterday, gold dropping. This morning, Victorio said gold's down a lot. And I mentioned to him, gold's down because anyone who had a safe haven trader said, I'm looking for safety. Where can I put my money? Is starting to throw the towel in. They're starting to close out those trades, all right, in anticipation of more upside. We haven't been able to see the institutional trading reports because the government's been shut down. So we've kind of been flying blind on this. But that's one indication that institutional money is starting to shift and allocate back to the long side. All right, interesting stuff happening here. We're at a key point. 2630 was a key point, but some news yesterday helped us climb above that, and today's the real test. We have to close above 2630 today. Even if we sell off, we got to hold that level. Today's options expiry day as well for the month, so you're going to see a little bit of volatility around that, and be prepared for some more volatile, more chop type market conditions. All right, the futures are open until 1 p.m. Eastern on Monday. So even though the markets are closed, we're going to be trading. We'll treat it like a regular day here at TradePro Academy. We'll run the room, the morning market update, and we're going to trade with the team till about 11:30. All right, it could be slower. There may not be as much opportunity. There'll definitely be less traders in the marketplace, less professional traders, as professional traders tend to take the holidays off because it's a business that works around the clock. And when there's a holiday, they use it as an opportunity to be with their family and friends and loved ones. So markets close at 1 p.m. Eastern. We'll be here on Monday. All right, Thursday's key earnings, Amex, American Express down 2.3%. All right, Morgan Stanley down 4.4% after missing big results on the trading woes and their management side of the business. Netflix is down 3.8%. We'll talk about that in a moment. And that's kind of the overview of yesterday's key earnings. In today's markets, Asia's up 1.3%, Hong Kong's up 1.3%, China's up 1.4%, India's flat. So strong gains across the board in Asia. In Europe at midday, London's up 1.4%, Paris up 1.6%, Frankfurt 1.5%, green across the board. In the U.S., Dow's up 0.6, Nasdaq's up 0.6, S&P is up 0.4. So we've really had a gain here overnight. There's a lot of bullish sentiment. Let's skip a little bit here to the next part and talk about why the sentiment came in. Yesterday, there was a report in the early afternoon that Steve Mnuchin said that he would consider easing, or they're considering the government's easing tariffs on China. all right, which is reversing. It's a 180 from the direction before. They were applying pressure on China in order to enter into trade negotiations. And Steve Mnuchin said we're considering taking the tariffs down or eliminate them altogether for the start of February, which was a very interesting comment because there hasn't been a deal done. And if there was a deal done, Donald Trump would literally talk about it as soon as President Xi left from the same room that they met at, because he's very excited to announce something like that. So no deals done. A lot of reports said there wasn't even any progress made in the last round of talks, 3 days between top officials in China. And at the same time, they're considering cutting back some of these tariffs. So obviously, reducing the tariff is reducing the pressure economically on China, and it's reducing the uncertainty. And that's a risk on type of event, which means risky assets like stocks will do well. And that also, if you've been short the last couple of weeks, it's been painful. And I know that a lot of institutions have been short, especially hedge funds, looking for more downside. And with this report, this is kind of like the final nail in the coffin where they just throw in the towel and say, you know what, we have to cover some of the short. We can't continue to be short. The landscape is changing. It's getting swinging back to a bullish nature. All right. And that's why you saw a giant run. It was news driven, and it was also stop losses above from short sellers getting triggered. And then we lost about half that momentum right after from that news pop. But that was a significant news event. Robert Lighthizer, I was butcher's name first, who's a U.S. trade representative, denied this allegation shortly after. He said, look, that's not the right move that we're going to be doing here. And he's the one that's leading these talks. And so that kind of confused the market a little bit, and then it sold back off. But the fact that there's even a consideration, this story was broken by Wall Street Journal, by the way, a phenomenal publication for good source news. I subscribe to it. It's a great publication that breaks a lot of leading market reports. Any of the media stuff that you'll hear usually quotes and cites the Wall Street Journal articles and reports. It's a very top-end professional newspaper. And I get nothing for telling you that. I'm just telling you because I like it personally, and I share everything that I use with you guys. All right, earnings season today remains in full swing. We'll be watching some figures this morning: industrial production, consumer sentiment. The government remains shut down. Donald Trump canceled the Democrats' airplane ride into Europe for a meeting, literally as they were heading into the car to go to the U.S. Air Force Base to fly out. I find that kind of, I don't want to say funny, but it's a jerk thing to do. And at the same time, I see both sides of the picture. I don't have an opinion unless I understand both sides. And even then, my opinion's not useful to you as a trader. But look at this. Yes, it's kind of a mean thing to do, but at the same time, why are you going there when you should be negotiating, closing this government closure? It's now the longest on record. Some workers that were furloughed were mandated to come back to work without pay, right? Imagine your boss calling you and saying, we're not going to pay you, but please come back to work. I swear we'll pay you soon. And that's the problem. And the problem is not that even if they want to trust the boss, that's not the problem. The problem is where's the money coming from to pay the bills? And they've been getting emergency loans. So this situation is getting out of hand. All right. In today's calendar, crude is up 1.4%. Bitcoin's flat to 3,600. In today's economic calendar, Fed's Williams will speak right at the top of the hour, 9:05, on economic outlook and monetary policy. Watch for that commentary because he's actually probably speaking now and he's on mute. Industrial production at 9:15 in 4 minutes. 5 minutes, 6 minutes actually, 5 minutes now. Consumer sentiment at 10 a.m. today, and Baker Hughes rig count at 1 p.m. for oil. So we're going to have some news events that could potentially move the markets. All right, two more things to talk about. We'll end it, call it a day. Tesla's down 8% pre-market, reducing its full-time head count or its staff by 7%, calling it a layoff. My payroll system's got only 3 buttons: new hire, leave, and termination. So it's, unfortunately, some of the employees are gone. 7% of the staff, that's significant. And a lot of that is freeing up resources and capital in order to meet the production targets of the Model 3 for Tesla. That's a big goal for them and a big focus. Elon Musk emailed all his employees yesterday saying, we must do everything we can to advance the cause of building affordable clean energy products at scale. So I'll tell you what, if you're working at Tesla, if you work in any other department than what's tied to the Model 3, you're probably nervous. That's a huge cut, 7% of staff. Last but not least, I got to dig into the Netflix situation a little bit. It's not really a situation. Netflix reported earnings yesterday for a record quarter for number of new customers. In the last couple quarters, everybody was watching the new acquisition part of the report. That's all that mattered. This quarter and beyond, I think Netflix has an expectation to start being profitable. All right, managing some of their expenditures for the content. They spend billions of dollars on content to be able to show it to you. And now that they raised the price, I feel like that's a step towards it. But Netflix yesterday missed their target on total revenue, and analysts are also saying, look, the expenses on content are getting a little bit ridiculous. So now all of a sudden everyone's focusing on how much they're spending on content. But a couple quarters ago, when they have net additions of record number of subscribers, all right, and the content was like 5 times what they spent the quarter before, and they had cash flow for 8 months, nobody cared. But suddenly now we're looking at that. And that's what you have to know about the market. All the information is available out there at the same time to everybody, but that doesn't mean that everybody cares about that information equally at the same time. That's fundamental principle number 1 on fundamentals, and about all I know on fundamentals. All right, that's kind of what's going on. So Netflix is down 4% after hours, down this morning. Tesla's down 8%. Watch FANG stocks today. I think they become very important. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Google, to see how they react. Watch NASDAQ as a correlation leader. Start the morning selling rallies and convert to being long. I think we had a nice rip into the close. It's options expiry day today. What's XRT trading at? Inside joke. XRT's become sort of a joke. It's a laughing joke on me. What is it at? All right. We needed to. All right. We need a $3 rally to get into the green. All right. That's what we got for you today. Enjoy your weekend. Yeah, by then, enjoy your weekend, guys. I appreciate you. We'll see you on Monday, despite the fact there's a holiday. We'll pay tribute and respect, but we will work throughout that day because the market's open. All right. That's what I got for you guys. Have an awesome weekend with you and your families. Just another brief reminder that we have our futures course retaping happening. So we had this awesome course that has helped thousands of traders. And today, not today, but February 4th, we're going to start to retape that course. We're going to be in the new office. Yesterday, we went out to check our new building. Very exciting. Looked awesome. I posted a picture of it on our story, by the way, on Facebook. Went to the new building. It looks awesome. It's going to be a new place, new course, and it's going to be a complete rebuild. Retaping does not give it justice. It's a rebuild. I'm going to show you from the ground up how to work yourself and become a professional, successful futures trader with this course from very first step. And this is the only time I'm going to teach it live for years to come. So it's a great opportunity to join, and there is no extra cost. It's just the membership cost. So it's crazy to not check it out, especially since you still have a 14-day money-back guarantee on top of it all. If you really hate what I'm saying, if you really hate what I'm saying, you probably wouldn't be here unless it's your first time. If it's your first time, hello. I'm getting out of hand here. Bye, guys. Have a great weekend. Enjoy the day. It's going to be a good one. And we've had a great week in the team room. We're looking to close it out on another good day. Take care. All the best to you and your family. I'll see you on Monday, and goodbye. You sure XRT is not at like 51 or something? Because that's the top end of my strike. That's where the short call is. Look, we have losing trades, and it's nice to laugh at them as well. Lost $2,000 on XRT in the last month and a half. That's okay. Made that back tenfold. What did I learn from it? To listen to watch Victorio's newsletter. Victorio was saying, "Get out, sell it." All right, let's talk about S&P 500. Victoria will talk about NASDAQ, and then we'll put box on for the oil report. Our oil desk is open and in full swing. So let's draw some levels and set up some trade ideas for the opening bell.